What's up, everybody? It's Conger Live, and today we're going to be going over the Warband Heroes at their maximum potential. Kind of analyzing how they are compared to the last video I did for this. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more content. And you kick that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and let's get going. Okay, here we are in the Heroes of Dominus with the Warband Heroes. I'm going to touch really quickly on the rare heroes that can get up to Legendary Plus. They do have the ability to do a little bit more damage and have their buffs last for longer in this case. Increase the amount of stacks of dodging, regeneration for the amount of time that's been increased. And then the amount of stacks of defended. Wow, after an enemy uses their ultimate ability, all allies gain 2 stacks of defense, war allies gain 3 stacks of defense instead. Wow, because I think at level 1 it's just him. But like for him to give that to everyone, just like, wow. Wow. He's an annoying tank for sure, Scoots. We got Oren, which has got one of the coolest effects on his tidal wave, the knockback, and I think the drain 20% is new. I don't remember seeing that. I'd have to go back and double check, but if it was there before, it didn't drain as much. And of course doing a little bit more damage. And with every 7th basic attack deals extra manageable damage and applies 2 stacks of slow to the target. Slow's not bad. And water allies deal 50% more damage to slowed enemies. Ooh, after Oren uses his ultimate ability, water allies gain 2 stacks of strengthened. Couple water allies out there like Korra, Cascade. Could really maybe get some interesting water team going. I'd be interested to see what people think about that kind of synergy. The last one, Flora, definitely just going to be using her as fodder. Magical damage, purges buffs, applies defended, and 1 stack to all allies. Okay, defended yourself and then to all allies as a support. I mean, I guess it might help with the other guy, Scoots, but you're gonna want the legendary heroes. Purify after every 6 seconds cleanses 2 stacks of debuffs from 2 allies with the most debuffs. Heals that ally for 2.3x power if they were nature or warband. Okay, so only if they're nature or warband is she going to heal them. That's a drawback. But you know, removing debuffs from multiple allies is nice. I think at level 1 it's only like 1 ally and like 1 debuff, so extra potential there. And arcane drain every 8th basic attack deals more magical damage and drains target by 20 or 40% against magical targets. So if the target does magical damage, you can tell there's magical attacks here, then she's going to drain even more. Not an impressive character by any means. Definitely, I don't think I've ever wanted to use Flora. I don't think I ever will use Flora. Sunder's an amazing hero. He's a striker, but he feels like a tank. He can definitely tank a lot of damage. So he cleanses all debuffs on himself and attacks in the area, deals 700% physical damage, pulls enemies in, applies 3 stacks of slow. So really a lot of CC right there, which is really cool. Warband allies passively deal an extra 10% or 25% against risen enemies. So this is really, really helpful if you're in the campaign where you're up against a bunch of risen. Sunder is going to help the rest of your warband do more damage to them. Sunder deals an additional 20% damage to enemies per stack of debuff on them. So you want someone on his team to apply debuffs. Warband allies crit attacks apply stun for 3 seconds. So that's also really, really nice that not only he stuns, but he enables his teammates like Rockoff to stun as well. And every 5th basic attack deals 200% physical damage to enemies hit in a cone, applies 3 stacks of slow to heavy armored enemies hit. So it'd be nice if he stacks like 1 slow to everyone and then 3 if they're armored. But it is what it is. So definitely a little bit more effective against tankier heroes. But still very, very useful if you're running Warband. you're going to want to run Sunder. Okay, Rockoff is amazing. He's one of the best heroes in the game, arguably. If not the best, definitely the best Warband hero. Beastly Fury, Rockoff chooses a target. He deals 945% physical damage. That's a decent amount. That's a lot. And then target all allies to them, and all allies target that enemy. So he's like, let's go get him, right? All Warband allies gain 3 stacks of hasten for 8 seconds. All Warband allies attacks wounded targets and deal 25% more damage. Okay, so all Oren allies basics attacks wounded targets for and deal. So it looks like they apply wounded. It's not quite clear how that says, but that's what I would imagine. Or they just do more damage to wounded targets. Okay, every 10 seconds, gain health regenerated for 4 seconds. After Rockoff dies for the first time, he is resurrected with 60% health. Yeah, he resurrects himself, which is really, really nice to help keep him in the battle. It's only the first time, but hey, it definitely helps. All Warband allies increase damage by 3% for each stack of buff on them. Every 8 seconds, all Warband allies cleanses 2 buffs and replace with 2 buffs. Okay, so yeah, it used to be, it's just him at level 1, but when you get it to level 3, it's all Warband allies cleanse. Like, that's insane. That's a great support right there from a striker. And reduces knockback on Warband allies by 100%. Melee Warband allies apply stunned to enemies on crit for 3 seconds. So this is also at level 1, it's himself that applies the stun. Now all the Warband allies apply the stun. Rockoff is amazing. He's awesome. Then we have Demos. Demos actually has a lot of potential as well. He's pretty strong. For the next 8 seconds, Demos' basic attacks do 450% magical damage and apply 1 stack of shock to enemies and apply stun to nearby enemies for 4 seconds when activated. So when he first uses Lightning Rampage, after you've leveled it up to level 4, he's going to stun anyone around him for 4 seconds, and then all of his basic attacks are doing a decent amount of damage. That 450 for our basic is heavy. Demos starts battles with 2 stacks of focus and has 10% chance to apply 1 stack of focus to himself after taking damage, or 100% chance when taking crit damage. So if he gets crit, he's going to increase his focus, so he's going to keep doing more damage. And he always has that 10% chance to get more stacks. And Demos heals 200% power whenever an enemy dies, 300% power if Demos makes a killing blow. If that enemy died was Risen, Electric, and Brawler allies gain 1 stack of focus. So Electric and Brawler gain that focus stack if he's up against Risen. You're going to be using Warband against Risen most of the time anyways for that bonus, that faction bonus. And Battle Surged, Demos charges 10% energy and applies 2 stacks of Shocked to enemy target when critting on basic attacks. When an electrical ally kills an enemy, Demos charges all electric allies' abilities by 15% energy. Right now, there's only one other electric hero, and that's Helga. So you definitely want to partner Demos with Helga to get the most out of his shocked synergy. Although his energy ultimate is 250, hers is 50, so she doesn't need the energy so much as he does for getting that 15% energy. He needs it, but it is what it is. So he can do some decent damage, and he's pretty meaty for a striker, but yeah, I think the other two are better from this faction. Korra is the epic defender. She's the tank. She pulls all enemies in a line into melee range, dealing 525% magical damage to enemies hit. Korra gains taunting for 6 seconds, so she taunts longer. When you level it up, she does more damage. Korra passively takes 25% less physical damage and has 50% chance to apply 1 stack of wounded to enemies who hit Korra with a melee attack. So if she has a melee person attacking her, half the time they're going to take wounded, which is going to make them take more damage. Pretty cool ability right there. Coral Aegis water allies start battles with 3 stacks to defend it. After an enemy uses their ultimate ability, Korra gains 2 stacks to defend it and taunting for 5 seconds. So I like that she gives water allies the stacks to defend it at the start. I wish there was other things that triggered this, but definitely, making it to where hopefully she's able to tank pretty well for the team. Shell Shock gains 1 stack of Shell Shock after being hit by an attack. or 2 for melee attacks. At 15 stacks, all stacks are removed, and Korra deals 160% magical damage to nearby enemies, purges 3 buffs, and applies 1 stack of slow to enemies hit. So the Shell Shock skill is just meh, in my opinion. She's a tank, so applying slow is great. Purging the buffs is good. It's just okay, but the other skills are good. I think she's a decent tank. You're gonna have to run 4 Warband at some point in the Blighted Lands towers, so I would definitely be recommending using Korra there when you get high enough. Otherwise, Scoots might not be a bad. Scoots is a great tank, so a lot of potential in the Warband rare heroes. Now Artemis. At first look, Artemis didn't seem amazing, but at max level, Artemis has some pretty cool stuff. Attacks 3 times in a circular area, each dealing 200% physical damage, and applies 1 stack of wounded and 1 stack of slowed to each enemy hit. Deals 25% bonus physical damage to light armored enemies, which is pretty cool. So 200% 3 times, that's 600%. It's a decent amount, and then the wounded and slowed is a nice little bonus there. Healing Ward, because she is a support. After 9 basic attacks, fires a special arrow next to the ally with the lowest health. Allies within a circular radius of the arrow heal for 0.33 times power per second for 7 seconds. So a lot of variable numbers here. You know, the 3x, 0.33x power per second for 7 seconds. So it's kind of like a regeneration ability. I wish that the hero that she targets got like more healing than the ones around it, but it is what it is. Her range support, ranged allies passively have an increased 10% chance to crit, and they heal for 0.5 power after hitting an enemy with crit. Ranger allies with ranged crits heal for 1x power instead. So this ranger crit allies ties back into Henrier from Syndicate. Would be really interesting to use with her for that ranged synergy. And then Inspiring Shot, every 7th basic attack deals 210 physical damage and applies 2 stacks of Mark to the enemy target. Ranged allies gain 2 stacks of Hasten, and the ally with the lowest energy charges 25% energy. Interesting. All right. So there you have it. That is the Warband faction. Let me know what you guys think about these characters with comments down below. Don't forget to ninja kick that like button, subscribe for more content, and we'll see you in the next video.